Hi. Hey, listen, I know that some of you guys are not all into the April Fool's thing. I just, I was having my fun, and I get it, I want to say, especially if you really like Magic cards, I apologize. And, in the spirit of Easter, which happens to be today as well, I have a special Easter surprise for all of you who have stuck around and not left me earlier today when you saw that last video. So, let's cast some Easter magic and flash some of those Easter colors, and let's get to the special Easter surprise video. Wrist straps and fire cats, it's me, internet personality Vangelus, your local expert on Yokai Watch, a hot new property that I've been told is going to be bigger than Pokemon. So I'm here to take a look at two of the freshest releases in the toy line, Jibanayan Badanayan and Robinayan Robunayan. These are a couple of converting figures that are well in line with your usual Yokai Watch play pattern. They come with Yokai medallions, which naturally can be plugged into the Yokai clockwork gear, but if you don't have that, don't worry. They still are usable as accessories for the figures. You can, target practice. You can flip them to see if you're gonna win or lose, for the battle game. In this case, I won. And they also prove the durability of these two toys. Now, these guys have got 100% show-accurate sculpts, and trust me, I've seen every single episode, and I've played every single level of the game. But what's really impressive is the paint applications and the color separations. They're very fine, crisp. The value is right there. I mean, you spin them around, and you can see that they have 100% solid sculpts even on the back, despite the conversion mechanism. Now, before we get into the good stuff, the conversion mechanism, let's just look at posability. Jibanayan is able to look left, right, and behind himself, just like in the show, and his little arms and legs can twist in place. Now, this might not look like much posability to you, but to me, this is everything. This is like the emotion of having your foot being like 5 degrees that way or straight forward. This thing I thought was bendable, but it's just made of a pliable plastic and it doesn't really hold a pose. As for Robinayan, he doesn't really have any articulation in his main body per se, except for the shoulder swivels and the wheels on his anus and his tail pieces having a universal hinge. But other than that, he's pretty much a brick. The main thing with these guys is the transformation. Now let's start off with Jibanayan, and let's get those instructions open. I got these fresh out of the box just to show you guys that he came with the instructions, and it's kind of like a bonus Easter egg. He came with instructions for a different toy. Who is this? Apak Kapadichuman Kapagoom. He's a different yokai, but unfortunately, cool as a bonus surprise this is from the fine folks over at level 5, I don't have that figure, and I don't have the instructions for this guy, so I had to solve this by myself. Now, a lot of reviewers have trouble without instructions, but me, not a chance. First thing you do is you split his face open, revealing his inner brain membranes, and then you spin his outer face stuff around, and you close it back up behind his head, giving him the classic Badanayan wings of light, as seen in the OVA, Yokai Watch Victory. Then you tear his guts open to reveal his inner suit. And this comes out on a multi-jointed hinge. Let's peel this out of here. And then while you're in here, I find it's easiest to do this. You spin all these things 180 degrees to switch over to Badanayan mode. And that's where he turns into a cold palette. You close his guts back up, and you put his shirt over his guts. And then finally, to complete the look, there is an accessory. I've been keeping it hidden. And then you plug it into the holes here. And then finally, and this is really cool, and I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, oh, this is happening on April 1st. This video is probably some kind of big old joke. I'm being 100% legit when I say that a ratchet jointed pompadour is anything but a laughingstock, and there you have Badanayan. As for Robinayan, if you want to turn him into Robanian, this is a lot more Transformers-esque. You split his face open, and then you peel out the F1 racer, and then pull his body forwards, spin it around, and stuff his body into his head. Before you do that, push here to open the trapdoor, deploy the spoiler, then put his body back into his head and close his head up, fold this forward. You fold this back, and now much like a lot of third-party toys, there's a stabilizing block that comes forward, and listen to this. Clicks into place effortlessly. And then you fold these things back, you know, like they're booster rockets, and then the wheels slide forward on a pin and fold forward on a hinge to move into place. You slide them forward on the pin, hinge it, and then you have Rabonian, the giant head in an F1 racer, which rolls legit. Sometimes this thing flops up and down, but you know, it's much like Ocular Max Sphinx. You need to play with the front a little bit to get the rolling action to work perfectly. Now, these two, let me tell you, dropping any pretense of this being some kind of quote-unquote April Fool's Day joke, where you might think I'm dripping with sarcasm, or trying to pull a leg, or throwing some wool over your eyes. I am 100% impressed that the one toy I'm actually reviewing here feels like a pretty darn solid Transformers / Ninja Turtles mutations figure. This is like a cool mode. The transformation's kind of fun. His body is just, it's in here. This looks right. It rolls. This is really cool. It doesn't have like some kind of accessory I have to bolt onto it. It doesn't have some kind of giant other head hanging off the back. Like, it's clean in both modes. And I don't know, transforming this thing is just kind of fun. If you can get this thing for like $4 at a Dollarama, which is never gonna happen, what with this being the next Pokemon and all, but if somehow, you know, you roll a natural 20 on the life dice, and you're able to do that, and you don't really care about things having anything to do with properties that you care about whatsoever, this is up there with Raphael who turns into size as like one of the most surprisingly fun transforming gimmick for a non-Transformers toy line thing that I have messed with in a while. I forgot to fold his entire wheels down. Let's see if I can do this out of sequence. Oh no. Here we go. Oh no, wait, that entire butt block is in the way. How do I get you to... In an experience on par with a third-party toy, you even have to do the transformation in a certain order, or the genius of its geometries will simply not work or line up. So, yeah, like, this is transforming Yokai Watch Robonian into Rabonian. I highly recommend to anyone who's a fan of stupid-looking things that turn into dumb stuff that also feels cool. Worth it. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus. Thanks for tuning in. We're into the 400s. We're off with a kickin', bangin' start of a review, and it's only gonna get better from here, folks. Yokai Watch is gonna be the next Tamagotchi. It's gonna be the next Tickle Me Elmo. It's gonna be the next Furby. It's gonna be bigger than Bitcoin, baby. RFID technology can do no wrong. So I will see all of you on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
No.